I wanted to kind of ask both of y'all
Mhm.
how being, an atheist, but then also an activist has impacted your dating and your relationships. You kind of touched on the idea of, the dating pool and how that was impacted. And so I'm just really curious what being sort of out as an activist and somebody who's trying to push the needle on these issues has done for you in relationships.
Me or Rudy first?
Matt, you probably have way more to say on the activism part than I do.
Well, we'll see. For me, the activism stuff has impacted. So the atheism only impacted the notion that I would prefer to date other secular individuals.
Sure.
The activism has actually impacted it more, not just because I have some amount of celebrity notoriety, whatever, within the community. That does impact, dating, but I couldn't possibly date someone who wasn't on board with the amount of time that I devote to the community, to doing multiple shows in a week. This week I did Atheist Experience on Sunday. I did the Hang Up last night. I'm doing this tonight. I'm doing a debate tomorrow night, and then I'm doing Atheist Experience on Sunday again. And while this is a slightly heavier live show week, in between that, I do lectures, debates, record videos. And when we're not in the middle of a global pandemic, I travel all around the world to speak wherever somebody's going to invite me. That can be hard on a relationship. It's hard enough to be, like right now I'm in a long distance relationship. A long distance relationship, I think, is probably going to be harder than just a relationship where somebody travels frequently. But they've got to be on board with the mission and understanding of my schedule and what I've devoted myself to. It's not for everybody. But the bigger issue is that they have to be okay with the notion that they're going to be publicly associated with me. If I say something and I'm under attack, like I spent, I don't know, I've more time talking to the FBI and police last week than I did my own immediate family members, because sometimes there's a concern or whatever. I don't want to get into it, but you got to be okay with that. And then I don't have security issues in the way that perhaps Sam Harris does. But there are still issues. And that's a lot. When you're an activist for a maligned minority about contentious issues where you are going to be offending people's core identities, it's hard to date somebody who's doing that. I mean, you're going to get some friendly fire. You're going to, when they're shooting at me, they're shooting at you type of thing. I mean, figuratively, but I suppose literally as well.
Yeah.
And that's something to consider, no matter, not just, if you host a big show, if you do anything public where you're putting your actual name and your life on it, that's something that all your prospective partners have to be okay with. Or you just don't tell anybody that, hey, I don't even have a partner, and then you keep your relationship secret. I do have a partner. She's awesome.
It's definitely good to say that, reminder, she's awesome. I have a partner and she's awesome. Yeah, my partner is awesome too. I'll say that very easily.
I mean, I wasn't going to lead with this, but I feel like if I don't say something, I might be in trouble for it later. So, if you're watching, I love you. You're wonderful. Rudy, go right ahead.
I have been so privileged with my partner in doing activism. He's the one that encouraged me to start activism. It started with me. I'd always tell him Bible stories that I had heard growing up, and I would sort of rephrase them in my own more casual colloquial language. And because these stories have been drilled into me, I can recite them in my own words. And I enjoyed it. And after I deconverted, it was this Bible thing is really fucked up. These stories are just messed up. How did I ever read this and not think this is messed up? And so I got this idea for doing atheist Bible readings. And I kind of floated the idea by Nathan, and he was like, you should do it. And he's had my back the whole time. He was the first person that bought me this microphone, which you see right here, this mic here. He bought that for me as a gift. he's helped me with a lot of my equipment, and he has been like my number one supporter, the number one person who's believed in me and my ability to do everything that I have done. I really didn't have that confidence in myself, but he had that confidence in me, and it's really weird to even think that I could do any of this without him. I mean, there's pictures. I'm looking through my Facebook right now trying to find a specific picture of a protest that I organized, and we had matching t-shirts that say love never shuns, visit jwfacts.org on the back and stuff like that. And he was wearing that shirt earlier today, and every time I see that, I'm just like, that is a really great reminder of not only something that I've accomplished, but something that he has supported me 100% on. He has never been in the way of my activism. He's always been my biggest supporter, and I don't even know if I could or even would have done most of the things that I have done without him having my back.
That's a beautiful story. I appreciate you sharing it. I'd actually love to take a look at that picture and just the story behind it.
If I can find it.
Sure. Well, I appreciate both of y'all kind of sharing your experiences and walking us through some of that.